What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today what we're going to be talking about is the auction house, because, well, we have the Soul Awakening session coming up, and that does a lot of stuff to the market here, and that we got two events, or actually it's really three events that make this so good. Number one is going to be this Soul Awakening Gala right here. It's just absolutely amazing because it makes people want to do Soul Awakening to get to Essence Sublimation. Number two is we have the Soul Contract event, which is going to get a lot of accounts, even like our side accounts. We don't use that often. 4 to like 6, 7 potential awakenings that might also be worthwhile selling on the auction house, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, ultimately, the Soul Awakening session means tons of people, especially the big whales, are going to chase those S and SS stones. Even just getting in the top 20, getting the guaranteed A- or higher, because that gets you a giant killer copy, which is one of the most important things in the game. That's important. Now, like I said, we don't have the retirement event like we had last time, which is a little bit of a downside to this one. Like, it's not as great, but what does that mean for the average player? Well, that means everything in this auction house becomes more affordable. And I'm not just talking about like what I'm after, because, you know, I'm obviously after a fairy or a Vesa copy for a Fairy Queen Vesa that potentially can get a giant killer. Why is that so important? Well, because I want her 4-star expedition. Now, that's the big thing I really want to push. And right now, they're still very expensive. That's like what? I mean, on the low end, you're looking at like a little over 1,000. So, like, if you, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. These copies are basically like $2,000. We're wanting to buy copies for like, you know, the less than like the $800 range as like the mid spenders. Now I'm gonna say we're the whales, we're just not the megalodons. But what does that mean? Even if you're not going for giant killer copies, you could technically, because like I said, if you're not going for this, one of the cheapest copies on the auction house is already Sword Flash, which again, she's a really good copy. I mean, that's actually pretty solid. These are actually pretty solid copies for a pretty cheap price. Good lord. Wow, that was a really good one. What you're going to see is a lot of people awakening for these, and the prices are going to plummet even more. Probably in the 10 to 15,000 range, I would have to say. Now, is that smart? Because, I mean, technically, if you manage to hit one of those and you want to retire one of them, an A- is still going to get you like 8,000. So it's still a net positive, even if they're selling down in the 15,000 range, which I think they're going to sell for more. I mean, heck, I think there's even cheaper Transcendents out there than that. We can look at all of the Transcendents that are currently in the game here. Yeah, you can already see Queens and everything way down there. EOS copies way down there. You might see ones go even lower. You just got to see. God, after I buy the Vest copy, I might even go for like homeowner rolls like that. Oh, don't get me started on that. No, I'm not doing that. I gotta stop spending. I have a baby on the way. Just gotta keep remembering that. No more spending. But we still are sitting at like 8,000, so that's not too bad. If we get close, we might just get a little bit, because we still have a good conversion rate of like 15,000 per day, pretty much. I did a little bit conversion today already. But what does that mean for you as an average player that's not even going for a giant killer copy? Well, these tenant copies, or honestly just regular copies for your heroes, become extremely affordable. I mean, you can even snipe some really solid B tier copies for next to nothing. Now, there is going to be some strong competition for these hero copies, of course, but like this one, this is a solid B Vesa. Even at 900, I mean, it's probably going to fall even lower than that. Like, if we take out what I'm going to call the crap heroes, because let's be honest, they kind of are. Or maybe I should not say the crap heroes. I should say the non-required heroes for the game modes you want to strive in. I mean, you get like a B-, Aspen, and Vulcan, very low. Even if we're looking at buyout copies, like B- Vesa, 270, like really not that much. A lot of these are just open-ended to see how much they go for. But you can see here, you can already get these copies for really cheap, but what that means is there's going to be so many more of these on the auction house. Don't buy the first couple of days. That's my first notice, is wait to buy anything on this auction house unless it's already a steal. Like, you might notice something extremely low priced, then you might want to snag it. So have the Starry Gems ready to go. But probably around like Monday, Tuesday of next week, you're going to see everything hitting the auction house, being off the display and over to here. And if you're just even looking for better B copies for your heroes, not giant killer ones, to make some progression, you're going to be able to find plenty of them. Because you can see how inexpensive these are. Now, I say inexpensive. I know they're still like technically like 40, 50 bucks worth of starry gems. But if you can sell something else in the auction house in between Soul Awakening sessions, when Soul Awakening sessions hit, you can make a good profit. Now, some people are probably thinking about flipping stuff as well. Last time, I think a lot of people bought some copies and tried to resell them during the non-Soul Awakening session times. I wouldn't do that so much because not many people, or at least it doesn't feel like many people, are buying too many big ticket items on the off weeks that are not the Soul Awakening session. But like, look at this. A nice solid B tier for 300, 450. Like, you can still get a very strong hero copy with some decent rolls. Like, look at this one. That's actually amazing. Skill damage, holy damage. You could probably pick it up for like a couple hundred, maybe 300 to 400 here. It's not the highest B tier roll, like, it's not. 3,300 is not the best. But you get some amazing bonus stats with it. You don't have to re-roll it with hammers because even to this day, yes, we're going to go to the Starry Gem Mall here. Even to this day, these things for people who are actually buying like A copies are a forever purchase, and we are never going to have enough, and it takes forever for it to reset. Like, literally forever. And you can only buy 20 of them. I don't know why, for some reason, they haven't added these into events or like paid packs. Like, legit, they could make so much money on whales if they just, but maybe they want the scarcity of soul hammers so that auction market is more thriving, especially when we're talking about those like A tier copies, which actually you can find a Jara pretty cheap if you're pushing chapters 1 and chapters 2. A Jara copy, especially with Giant Killer, that could be a steal. If she can drop down to the 10 to 15,000 range, I could see a lot of people picking a copy up of her. Even I might, actually. Like, look at that. That one's sweet. Even I mean, it does look like right now you can see the top tier heroes. The cheapest Mockman is like 36. The cheapest Vulcan is what, 55? That goes to show the power of Vulcan right now. Vulcan is still the top tier hero to go for, but it is hoping this drops down. I think even my Vulcan I got for what, 40? I think I stole it for 40, and then I got my Mockman for like 35, and then I got my Aspen for 20. So like, I got a steal compared to what you see on prices here. So just be prepared. Make sure you're stocked up. Make sure you have plenty of starry gems already at your disposal if you're going to be looking to buy top tier item. I'm within like 1 day's purchase to get all the starry gems I need, which is important. But even for the people not going for A tier and they're just going for like B tiers, is going to be a really good market. You could steal a ton of them for very, very cheap. Now, be warned, if you they have stated that they might ban people if you buy up a bunch of low copies and retire them. I haven't seen it actually happen yet, though. They just trying to get people not to generate starry gems that way, because you can take this copy and retire it for a couple hundred, and that's a net profit. So just letting you guys know. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.